I never actually learned how to play chess. That one small fact is the reason a 79-year-old man still gets out of bed in the morning. It started because I was too much of a coward to admit I didn't belong somewhere. I was cutting through the park on my lunch break, killing 20 minutes before heading back to a job I hated, when I sat down at an empty stone table just to eat my sandwich. An old man shuffled over, set down a worn wooden chess set, and asked, "You waiting for me?" I have no idea why I said yes. I think I just didn't want to watch his face fall when a stranger told him no. He beat me in about 6 moves. I didn't even know how the knight moved. But instead of laughing, he leaned back, studied me, and said, "You've got potential. Same time next Thursday?" My mouth said sure before my brain could stop it. I figured I'd take a different route through the park next week and never see him again. I still don't know what made me come back. Guilt, maybe. But that next Thursday, he was already sitting there, board set up, 2 coffees from the cart by the fountain. One was for me. He remembered I took it black. His name was Walter. Over the next few weeks, I learned he'd been a machinist for 41 years, that he hummed old songs when he was thinking, and that he cheated a little when he thought I wasn't looking. I started actually trying to learn the game just so I could give him a real match. He'd clap his hands when I made a decent move and shout, "There he is!" loud enough that other people in the park would turn and look. By the second month, the regulars knew me. The man who ran the coffee cart started calling me Walter's boy. A woman who walked her dog past us every Thursday told me, "He talks about you all week, you know." I didn't correct her. What was I supposed to say? That I was a stranger who got trapped by his own politeness? Then one Thursday it rained, and Walter invited me up to his apartment to finish our game. It was small and painfully tidy, and every surface had a photo of the same smiling woman. That's when he told me about Ruth, his wife of 52 years. She'd passed the previous spring. He told me very quietly that after the funeral he stopped leaving the house for almost 4 months. He stopped cooking real meals. His kids lived across the country and called on Sundays, and that was the whole of it. The park was the first place I made myself go, he said. I brought the board because Ruth and I used to play in the evenings. I never expected anyone to actually sit down. Then he looked at me and said, "You gave an old man a reason to put his shoes on." I found out later, from his neighbor across the hall, that Walter's doctor had been genuinely worried about him. That his daughter had quietly started researching assisted living because she thought he was giving up on living entirely. And that ever since our Thursdays began, he'd been phoning his kids to tell them about the young fella who's finally learning to defend his king. I'm now the emergency contact on an index card taped to his refrigerator. His daughter flew in last month specifically to meet me. She hugged me in the doorway before I even said a word, cried into my shoulder, and whispered, "I don't think you understand what you did for him. We really thought we were losing him." Walter stood behind her, pretending to fuss with the board so I wouldn't see his face. Last Thursday, he beat me fair and square. No cheating this time, and he was so pleased he had to sit down for a second and catch his breath. He told me Ruth would have liked me. He said it like it was the highest compliment a person could give another person. And honestly, coming from him, it was. So now I'm the standing Thursday appointment for a man I met only because I was too spineless to admit I didn't know how his knight moved. I show up every single week with 2 black coffees. I've quietly read 3 entire books on chess openings that I will never admit to owning. And here's the part I can't explain to anyone who asks. Somewhere along the way, I stopped dreading Thursdays. They're the best day of my whole week now, too.